Okay.
Next question, Mrs. May.
Two of the amazingly talented illustrators who worked on both the show and on the book too. We have Ian Morell and Joe Pitts.
Just to give it a little bit of context, like, this guy designed Dipper and Mabel. Like, I can't really draw. And Ian designed the Mystery Shack. Like, he built it. Like, so much of our awesome book was illustrated by them. We've also been friends since college and actually high school, I guess. Yeah, where did we meet first? Was it in Ian, into the mic?
Alex and I met at some 1,000 kids in my high school. And then I went to animation summer camp. And I met the very first person that I saw wearing the brightest, most colorful tie-dye shirt.
Phenomenal fashion style.
Pink in the cheeks, giving an interview on camera with the most enthusiasm for our medium, animation, that anyone could possibly muster. And the first thing that I thought was like, I'm not alone. There's others like me. And
Don't make me cry.
my first impression was like, oh man, I don't know, like,
I literally thought he was going to say, I thought he was the most annoying child I ever met. And that's amazing. And me and Joe, we also met in, was it Art Summer Camp? Or was it at Cal-Arts?
I was there the year after, and you and Adrian Molina were visiting.
Co-director of Coco. We were children.
Yeah, you all were visiting CISA, and you were meeting up with another friend that was going our year. And I remember thumbing through your sketchbook, and I was still a junior in high school, and going into senior year, I was like, I gotta get into Cal-Arts, and I remember looking through your sketchbook and Adrian's and being like, oh, I'm so screwed. It made my MO that year in end of year of high school. I was like, I gotta get better.
That's
get better.
crazy because Joe is so good at drawing.
But I remember seeing that interview online, trying to go into Cal-Arts.
Oh, the interview that he watched me film when I was very pink in the cheeks. I'm still pink in the cheeks. I'm drunk right now, everybody. I'm just kidding. Afterwards, we are going to get drunk. By the way, there's a mix of ages in this crowd.
Yeah.
We are right. What are the rules in this great cube?
Where?
We'll see how the conversation goes. We only got 15 minutes or so. We're just gonna ramble about our childhoods if they don't stop us. Well, it's just been so, I haven't done a convention with these guys in a long time, and one of the reasons I made the Book of Bill was because I just missed working with the Gravity Falls artists. I've known them for so long, and they're so talented. And I thought, well, maybe if we make a book, there'll be a chance for us to hang out again. Because when you grow up, you don't hang out so much. So I'm like, how can I con my friends into hanging out? I'll write an insane treasure hunt about an evil demon. Wait, what's that? Someone had something awesome to say, and I talked over it. I'm so sorry. I do that all the time. But if any of you are artists, instead of being enemies with each other, make friends, because like one day you might make something like the Book of Bill that some angry mother burns in a pit. So let's get into whatever our appropriate questions are. Yeah, drop some questions on us.
In some preparation for this, I did watch a Gravity Falls panel from 2015 at San Diego Comic-Con, and the room was so hype. It was mid-season 2. A Tale of Two Stands was about to come out. And they came to the audience. There were so many Bills in the audience, like we have today. And like every single one of your answers started with Bill. Like Bill was there reading your mind.
Right,
He was
yes.
swimming around your head, which makes sense in the series. So I want to know, when did he start swimming around your head as the author of the book?
The answer to that question is what actually just accidentally came out of my mouth right now. I don't know if you heard that, but when I'm laughing at something that's a normal laugh, I have kind of like a giggle, like a Homer Simpson, like hee hee. That's like my normal laugh. But when I'm laughing at like getting away with something, it starts like. It's like, so that is. I started making that while you were asking me that question. Anyone watching this later on YouTube, rewind it. Yeah, I mean, so Bill basically started essentially as an inside joke around the office. Tell me if my memory is different from your memory. But we didn't know if Bill was going to be a character on the show. None of us had made a television show before. I'd never even written a script before. We were all quite young. I had like lassoed the tornado and caught my own TV show. Way too young or inexperienced to figure out how to do it. I said, please, friends from our school, help me out. They came to work on it with me, and we were just building the airplane while we were flying the airplane. And we would just draw silly doodles on the walls all the time, just trying to make each other laugh. And I was trying to think like, Dipper is a character who wants to be taken seriously, and he wants the mysteries of the universe answered to him. So I was like, who would drive Dipper crazy? And I was like, oh, if the Illuminati pyramid came to him in his dreams, it's like, hey, did you know in the crossword it says who killed the dinosaurs? Salami causes brain damage. Bye! Just like random stuff that Dipper would wake up every day and be like, what does that mean? Is that a code? Is that a secret? It was just really funny in my mind to think of something like designed to drive Dipper crazy. So I started drawing this little triangle. It was like a mix between a triangle and like Mr. Peanut or whatever. A little like peanut hat. And everybody in the crew liked this stupid thing. And we started just hiding it everywhere. We started putting it in the credits, and we started hiding it in backgrounds and hiding it in props. And we didn't even know if Bill was going to be in the show. It was almost a meme before it was a character, like an inside joke. Are you guys remembering that correctly?
Yeah, I remember the dollar bill and everything. I remember red lines.
We didn't make the pilot episode until we were several episodes in.
Yeah.
Right. So Bill was still in progress. Right?
Yeah.
Even the Zodiac was very last minute, like, okay.
We didn't know what we were doing. We were just completely making it up on the fly.
And yeah, the dollar bill, I remember that coming up quite a bit.
Well, I just thought it would be really funny if there was a generation of children who, when they looked at money, thought about my cartoon. I thought it would be good for business. Apparently it is. You work on the publishing side of things. The Book of Bill, how's it selling?
My goodness. We are very, very grateful for all the work that you all did. It looks incredible. Everyone is so happy with it. The fans, obviously, are like very, very excited about it. So it's selling really quite well. It's been on the Times bestseller list for like 3 months now.
Your store sold out. You have a store? The owner of Barnes & Nobles is right here, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, there's a better Book of Bill. They've improved upon the Book of Bill. It says the better Book of Bill. What a bargain, being an exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen. One of the better Book of Bill. Thank you very much. I'm going to copy this and sell a bootleg of it. Thank you so much for this. Thank you very much. Sign by the author, everybody. If you do that, they will storm the stage and everyone will ask me to sign it. But thank you! You shot your shot. I appreciate it.
Speaking of the book,
yes.
I was also curious, is there anything about the fans' reaction to the book itself or anything new?
Terrifying!
Has it surprised you? Has anything surprised you?
Has it surprised all of you, the reaction to this book? It surprised me. Yes, no. That is when the interviewer asks Bill, are you dead? He's like, no, yes, no. Yeah, I mean, look, like, we work very hard on this cartoon. We work hard on everything we do. Your dream as an artist is that people will connect to the work that you make, but you never have any idea how people are going to react. So we knew Gravity Falls was beloved, and then many years after the show, Disney asked, will you make this crazy book? And I said, sure, that sounds fun, as an excuse to get them to hang out with me. I thought, I think there's like a slumbering giant of Gravity Falls fandom that will rise when this book comes out. But I thought the slumbering giant was going to be as tall as like a telephone pole and not as tall as like Mount Everest. Like, it still continues to blow my mind just how much people love and remember Gravity Falls. I mean, I'm just grateful. Like, I am just a nerd who, like we said, we all met each other as kids, as art students, sharing sketchbooks, wearing silly costumes, talking about our favorite movies and shows. I could never have dreamed that one day we'd be working on one, let alone, I'm gonna get a little emotional here, let alone with all of you. I'm just so grateful. Thank you all for coming.
Whoever wants to answer, because frankly I don't know who's better suited to answer. Ian, I guess this one is specifically for you. I heard you say that you used Calvin and Hobbes as an inspiration for the style guide for Gravity Falls. And I'm curious if there's any other kind of weird inspiration you pulled for this book that might surprise folks.
So Calvin and Hobbes, one of dozens of inspirations for like how we illustrate our work. The inspiration for this book, visually, I mean, it was kind of a free-for-all. Like, Bill has
dimensional deficit disorder. He cannot keep track of what dimension he's in. So I'm like, Ian, every page should look like he just got distracted by a completely different style.
Yeah, so the inspiration is 100% the character.
Crazy. I'm like, oh my god, it's gonna be a lot of line mileage. But the thing I love doing on one of the assignments I love doing in the series was I think it was Comic-Con. Was it one of the years we did a poster of like all the characters together in one. I don't know if any of you remember that, but I got to do that one, and that one's a real fun challenge because finding all the little nooks and crannies and try to make everything look give every character their due and space.
We try to make our jobs as hard as possible for ourselves.
Yeah.
So it's like, Joe, can you fit infinite people? Can you fit infinite drawings in one drawing? And it's like how we torture each other, but it's also how we make something that you all love. That's the dream.
It was the ultimate puzzle, and it was really fun to try to figure out and cram in as many details and Easter eggs as possible, and really give something back to you all. I think one of the pictures that I drew, one of the illustrations that was I think the most meaningful was the family portrait at the end, like Stan. That one was great because that one felt like reconnecting with these guys. So,
I didn't tell him I was going to burn it at the end of the book. I said, I want a really sweet picture of Dipper and Mabel and Ford and everybody together. Who knows what'll happen to that picture? I'm very glad that we were able to, you posted that picture online, and I think that picture is, the correct version is in the book and also burned in the book as well.
yeah.
I see people, oh, there it is, my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
I see people raising I see books just going up. Like this is a concert and these are liars. This is crazy. Everyone who has a book of art, would you mind holding it up?
Hold it up, Logan, hold it up.
This is wild. Let me get up. All right, everybody, sway your books to the left, to the right. Oh, look at this. This is like Woodstock. I was a child. Amazing. How's our Texas situation going, folks? Are we able to show them our weird, crazy behind the scenes of how Ian makes his work?
Some madman stuff.
I think it might be in the process of, we prepared so much for this panel, guys. We prepared 0%. We've just been hanging out in New York, eating pizza, and talking about old times.
Alex, what was your favorite thing that you wrote in that book?
My favorite thing that I...
Joke that just makes you laugh when you read back?
Oh, man. I mean, gosh, my favorite joke that I wrote. I wrote this book in sort of a, I would wake up in the morning and I would just, when I was in 7th grade, I had a teacher who really didn't like teaching, and so she would say, hey, it's a free write, and she would go out and smoke cigarettes or something, I don't know. And it'd be like 40 minutes of us just writing whatever based on a prompt. She would play Enya music, it would be really moody, and I discovered that I just really liked writing whatever came to the top of my head. So I'd literally wake up, and I wouldn't even get out of bed, I would just grab the laptop, and I would just be, see what Bill would have to say. And it would be like Bill randomly playing a xylophone and saying, I screwed up with Weird Mageddon. Whatever the first thing came to mind was, because if I thought too hard, I wouldn't think like Bill. Bill is very impulsive. So the book is basically just a series of insane morning free writes stitched together by deadlines and chaos and their beautiful art. I'm so glad you read it and enjoyed it. I see a wallpaper up there. Does that mean we have stuff to show? Ooh. Ian, can you just tee up what we're about to see here?
So, because this book had so many different styles and it was kind of a technique free-for-all, it required some experimentation and trying out new things. And so, for certain illustrations, I have VR and Blender and physical objects that are photographed plus Photoshop and a bunch of other stuff in between. And the illustration that I had mentioned earlier with the head statues with the people in it, that involved some of these steps. And I have a little video prepared that has that illustration. You can see what it looked like.
All right, let's take a look.
There's audio in here. I'm going to see it.
Okay, so Ian, what are we looking at here?
I'm sorry.
Illustration we designed in a VR.
In virtual reality, because Ian's a genius.
Insane.
So you're just making skulls, copying and pasting skulls, making weird little skulls.
Oh, let me find the page.
Made a little friend.
Oh my
Bill.
God.
I've never seen that.
Here he is building Bill's dreamscape.
Oh my God.
Stan's head, Mabel's head, and you're drawing with VR, and you've got all the reference. So I'll send him a crummy sketch, a bunch of heads in the desert, and then he will climb inside the computer like a VR god. That's just lots of Stan heads coming out. As many heads as possible. Stack them to the sky.
Better than Minecraft.
I've never even seen this stuff before. It's a stantipede! Oh look, there's the Mystery Shack built in virtual reality by the guy who designed the Mystery Shack himself.
Maybe Disney Imagineers will take that and build it.
Hey, Bob Iger, if you're listening, build one of these in Disneyland. Huh? Oh, look at that. Oh wait, was that the tree? Did we get to see the tree? Well, sorry, you gotta see the tree.
Oh,
I just told Ian, make a mystery tree. Because I knew that with that prompt, he would, where's the tree? Where's the tree? Give me the tree. Is that the very beginning? Look at this.
what?
That's from the code section. Yeah, so there's all the letters around it. And that's how he built it. So Ian, can you tell us, and I'll only ask you quickly because I want to get to the Q&A. You would take these, you build them, and then you would draw over them and paint over them? Is that how you made them?
Yeah, so some of this is a little self-indulgent. I 100% do not need to make that tree in VR. Making
We're all crazy.
this stuff, I enjoy the process so much. It's an excuse to pop into these programs and to mess around. And so I will go into 3D, and then I will texture it and light it and use it for reference and to accelerate a process or whatever.
And then he just sends it to us, and he's like, yeah, it just took me a couple days, it was easy. This is only now we're seeing just how insane he is. Bill is self-indulgent, so we had to be to create the book of Bill.
3D print. 3D print.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, why don't they sell these in the Disney store, right? Just like, Bob Iger, if you're listening, they all want a giant stone head the size of their living room. I think we should probably open it up to questions if we can. How much time do we have? We got 30 minutes. So Ian, if there's any other art, you just keep popping it up while we're asking questions. Just turn the volume down, just so there's something beautiful to see. I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see all these faces. Normally I have to pick, but because I brought these guys, they get to pick the questions.
Right.
Joe, you're up. Who are we talking to?
All right, well, Barfing Gnome was first one.
Schmebilock.
My question is, since this table was like trapped in a bubble, this is kind of going towards the show. How would it be taken, like, if maybe this was a TV, but how would it be taken if Taylor was trapped in a bubble? Like, would we still try to see
Oh.
or would she just be like, who cares?
Great question, thank you, Schmebilock. Anyone who didn't hear the question is, we all saw Mabel Land where Mabel's trapped in a bubble. What if Dipper had been trapped in a bubble? Would Mabel have saved Dipper? What would that bubble have looked like? My first question to you is, how do you know that we are not in Dipper's bubble? I mean, wouldn't Dipper's bubble be saving his sister, being the hero, going to home with a bunch of friends, getting his book signed, going home at the end of summer? Doesn't he say at the end of the thing, wow, I've got friends, I've got mystery, I've got everything he wanted? Doesn't that seem like it would, that would be inside Dipper's bubble, being a hero? Okay, now that I've messed with your minds about honestly, I think Dipper's bubble probably would have been him and Ford in their own like X-Files show as a cool team like, oh no, Bigfoot's escaped again. Oh, and I'm not smart enough to solve the riddle, Dipper. And then Dipper will figure it out by hyperfixating on the problem. And I think eventually 100% Mabel would have saved him, and she probably would have saved him the same way that he saved her. By saying, hey, remember, I know life sucks, but like, we've got something beautiful to look forward to growing up. You're trapped in a TV show, let's get out of here. But maybe we're all in Dipper's bubble. All right, next question. Ian, you get to pick the next one. Oh, look at that, by the way, everybody. Are you seeing what's happening here? This is Bill Cipher being suffocated for some reason. Ian's not just an artist, he operates a torture dungeon. All right, Ian, you get to pick.
It's unnecessarily difficult.
Yeah, why draw folds if you can do whatever this is? I'm calling the FBI. Ian, who are you picking on?
I saw Mabel here.
Does Bill watch the Duchess Approves? God, I haven't thought about the Duchess Approves in so long. Thank you very much. The Duchess Approves, darlings. Sterling Stumble Burgess and the Duchess. I can't even say it. And Crampton, St. Rumterfravel, is it Ransville, Coxswain, Sonderblug, and Hampshire, Fufenshire? Bill watches everything. He binge watches all of our lives in every dimension. He's very caught up in our dramas. He pretends he doesn't watch it, but every now and then from his alt account, he likes fan art of the Duchess Approves. Next question.
That's where Stan and Bill would both agree on something, right?
We got one thing in common, but I'm a real fan, you're a fake fan. I've been watching since the beginning. All right, Joe, who we got next?
Oh gosh. Someone from this side over here. I see the person jumping.
Yeah. My sister's a huge fan of Gravity Falls, and she would like to ask you guys a question.
What was Bill's relationship with the axolotl?
If you guys didn't see, so Grunkle Stan and Lupin III, two master heisters, came up with a perfect way to befuddle me in front of all of you. What was Bill and the axolotls, or axolots, if you want to pronounce it correctly? I'm bad at pronouncing things. What is their prior relationship? Here's the thing. I'd love to answer that question, but then I'd be giving you lore for free. And I just learned from this book that if I put lore somewhere else, you'll all buy it. So unfortunately, there's a paywall on that one. We'll see if that's answered in the future, but I appreciate it. All right, Ian, you got the next one. Yes.
I have a question for all three of you.
All right.
What is your opinion of pineapple on pizza?
Pine's apple on pizza. I think it's weird. Joe?
I'm a no-go.
Ian?
It depends on if I'm gonna. Okay, it's usually a no. But occasionally, if it might hurt somebody's feelings, I will go along with it.
But how about you, Liz? What's your opinion on pineapple on pizza?
I think it's a nice citrusy bite.
He's an open-minded guy right here. All right, who do we got next? I'm gonna let you pick the next question.
Back here.
In the gray. I hit him with the memory ray earlier.
I forgot my answer too.
Oh, I remember. So I don't have a copy of the Book of Bill yet. I'm just borrowing my friend's one right now. Do you think I should get the Barnes Noble edition or the
Hey, do we have a copy on us right now?
Both.
That's a regular one.
Here you go. An easy way to get it is to go to Barnes & Noble's or to be right here, right now, and be that one specific person. Next question. Who do we got? Joe, you get to pick.
Disney Crash.
Wiggity, wiggity, what's up, dude, bro?
Is there any specific information you can give us on Bill's dimension of his parents?
Paywall. Oh man, you're gonna hate this answer. I had 2 pages giving way more information about Bill's dimension. And at the last second, I was like, I'm telling him too much. So I cut from the book, and then when I was working on the website, I was like, this would be a good secret. And then right before I launched the website, I was like, I'm telling him too much. I know the answer to those questions, but it's been really fun seeing all of you on the internet and your theories. So maybe one day, along with the answer to what is Bill's relationship to the axolotl, a little bit more about whatever Bill's home dimension might be, if one even exists, will come out, but not yet. I'm sorry, but I appreciate you for asking. Thank you, Dippy Fresh. All right, Ian, you're up.
Oh my gosh.
Bill, were you ever consider doing something on your own or continuing somehow with yourself or media? In some form?
Great question. So I love these characters. They're my family, you know, and they're also created by my friends. I will always love Gravity Falls. I will always want to return to it emotionally in some way. You know, I think the Book of Bill was, Disney reached out and asked if I had another Gravity Falls book kicking around in my brain, and I thought it has to be something really scary and stupid, because the secret to making something great, guys, is it's half scary, half stupid. Put those together, you'll make something amazing. And so, you know, I said, this is what I want to make. I want to scream in the voice of a lunatic and see what I can get away with. And I had no idea if anyone was going to like it or even buy it. When people would ask me about, like, what's this book you're working on? I'd be like, I don't know. Ask my therapist what this is. I I really thought of it as sort of this really esoteric curio and an excuse to hang out with my favorite people. Because it's done so well, and because the fans love it so much, and because the fandom has like exploded in all these ways I've never seen before, it's made everyone on my side, on Disney's side, on everyone suddenly stand up and say, hey, whoa, there's a bigger appetite for Gravity Falls stuff than we thought. What do we do with that appetite? I'm not quite sure. But coming here, seeing all of you is giving me some thoughts, so that's all I can say. Today, I'm gonna call on that platypus right there, I think. All right, Perry, what do you got for us?
Amazing show. I'm sure a lot of work came into, not representing the characters, all the secrets and reveals, and on top of that, you had all these great cryptograms. I especially love the time code, the secret that you had in the book. But I was just wondering what the structure was like when you were animating the show at the end. Was that like the cryptograms at the end? Was that at the very end, or you kind of planning on what the messages would be, and the secrets and all that? Or you just kind of went as you went?
Yeah, so in terms of the cryptograms in the television show, that was added at the very last second of every episode. Here's the thing, coming up with plots and stories and conflicts that are satisfying, setups, payoffs, things that are relatable, things that have high stakes and are interesting and satisfying and grounded, that's really hard. Coming up with wacky little codes is very easy. I would compare it to, it's really difficult to build a garden, but it's fun and easy to hide Easter eggs. So essentially, that was my reward to myself. Once the episode is working and it's good, then my treat is the little dessert of adding the wacky, silly things at the very end. And people all love the wacky, silly things. They're like, that must have taken you forever. I'm like, no, making the characters make sense and be likable took forever. The codes were easy. All right, who do we got next?
Over here.
Ian, I'm making you pick.
Over here.
Here. They asked so politely.
You got the plan, you got the phone, you're in the aisle. Yep, you
Me? You're picking me?
Let's go! Woo! Got you.
Light that candle up.
Hi, Alex. My name is Matthew. This is a pseudo cosplay. This is basically like if Wendy was in the 90s and she was like a lot of like 90s and stuff.
Love it.
Nice.
Okay, so first off, I want to congratulate you on winning Uncle Uncle.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if you noticed I recently won the Bunkle Bunkle.
In regards to in the book of Bill, we see that Dipper is having Dipper is on fire or parents are fighting. And a lot of people are like speculating that it might that it could be that fight what that led to them going to Gravity Falls and then eventually led them to divorce. I don't know, like, they go with love to if there are formal stands. But, I don't know. It seemed like a very serious situation for them. It seemed like more than just like, let's go, let's have them hang their struggles with something,
Sure, thank you for your question. So yeah, I mean, I can't speak to any additional canon of the secrets of Dipper and Mabel's backstory right now. I can't speak to my backstory. Me and my twin sister Ariel, we were kids of divorce, and our great aunt Lois, Granty Lois, she swooped in to help out the family, and we would spend the summers with her out in the woods. It was a transformative experience that resulted in the show coming to life. Whenever I'm trying to think about the emotional experiences of Dipper and Mabel, I'm always going back to life. If and when there's any additional Gravity Falls media of any kind, I will always be exploring my own emotions and memories as well as the emotions and memories of the crew. But in terms of additional canon beyond the book right now, I can't give any paywall, but thank you for your question. Oh wow, sorry. I think I gotta pick this one. I see something crazy out there in the crowd. Folks, so let me just tell you a really short story and then I'm gonna call on somebody. When Gravity Falls first started, when I was a kid, I was a huge nerd, if you could believe such a thing. I was a big fan. Specifically, I was a big Nintendo fan. I would write letters to Nintendo saying, I came up with a cool video game about me and my sister with monsters. And finally, Nintendo wrote me back a letter saying, stop writing us letters. If you leave us alone, we'll give you a free subscription to Nintendo Power Magazine. And I was like, oh my god, I like smelled the magazine. I was like, this is what Nintendo smells like. So when I got my own TV show, I was like, I'm gonna respond to every single fan letter. I'm gonna do what Nintendo did for me. I don't have a magazine, but I'm gonna write back. So I got a little Dipper Mabel stationery, started responding to fan letters, I'm gonna respond to every single one. Maybe there'll be like 25 of them. And then after 300 letters, my whole inbox was stuff with letters. I stopped signing. It was impossible. It became like a deluge. I haven't seen any of those letters since because that was over a decade ago. I see one of those letters in the crowd right now. Can you ask you a question? Hey, folks, come talk. Come here. Microphone is yours.
I just want to chime in real quick. And Alex, I remember during season 1 and 2, him going in after hours, just going to his office and signing all these and spending all that extra time. So.
Hi. I just want to say you sent this to me when I was 12 years old, and it meant the world to me. I sent you a letter after the first episode came out because I loved it so much, and it felt like a show that was made for me. I have a great family life, and you gave me these very Jewish coded characters. It really meant the world to me to see these characters. I had a family in this show, and this letter really just, it's amazing, man. Thank you. I held on to this for so long. Sorry.
Thank you. Hey, turn around and get a picture with us. A former and forever fan. Here we go. Sorry, what is your name? Mia. Mia, thank you so much, Mia. This was so long ago. This says, signs of Gravity Falls addiction. Number 1, you put detective hats on ducks. Number 2, you eat sugar right out of the bag. Mabel's like, but I ate too much. Number 3, you decapitate Larry King. Rest in peace, Larry. Number 4, you see codes everywhere. Number 5, you send a letter to the creator and he writes back, your pal, Alex Hirsch.
In the book of Bill, we get to see these characters' nightmares, and Grunkle Stan's nightmare is that he keeps thinking about high school, and then he sees himself trapped in Ford's machine, and I just was wondering if you could expand upon that. I thought it was so interesting.
Sure, yes. Thank you for your question, and thank you for holding on to that for all these years. So that it's Grunkle Stan's nightmares, right? Yeah, so, I wrote more than we actually fit in the book, if you can believe such a thing. The book is only so many pages, and we created a lot, and some of it went into the book, and some of it went into the website, and I did write a full, it was 4 pages long, it couldn't fit in the book. It was a dream, it was a nightmare that Stan had, where he was inside high school again, because we all have nightmares about being back in high school. Or being back in middle school, writing me a letter. In the nightmare, Stan is in high school, and the Ford's perpetual motion machine is broken, and he keeps trying to fix it, and Ford's inside the perpetual motion machine, and he thinks if he fixes it, he will get Ford back, and he's losing his mind, and he keeps having this recurring nightmare, fix the perpetual motion machine, get my brother back out of it, and then Bill was like, I'll go into Ford's mind, I'll go into Stan's mind, and I'll trick him. And so Bill flies into Stan's mind, pretends to be a teacher, and was like, hey there, Slick, I can get your brother out of there, all you gotta do is shake my hand. And Stan's like, why are you being nice to me? No one has ever been nice to me in my entire life. What are you? And Bill's like, okay, I'm not a teacher. I'm a triangle. I'm the symbol on the back of the money. You'd like money, right? Yeah. Shake my hand and you could get your brother back. Why'd you lie to me before? Oh, I don't know. I just like telling crazy stories like you. Are you a cop? I'm not a cop. Sounds like something a cop would say. And it literally was this insane dream of Bill trying to trick Stan and Stan being so paranoid that he just immediately got into a fight with Bill and Bill being like, he's too dumb for me to manipulate. And it was too crazy and too long for the book. And I also don't even know if it made sense in canon. You start out by writing something silly and then decide later if it makes sense in canon. But I don't know, maybe one day I'll put the transcript of that online and you can enjoy a non-canon story between Stan outwitting Bill through sheer paranoia and spite. Thank you so much.
Well, this animatronic Bill.
It's a cyphertologist here to spread the bad news. Oh my gosh, a cyphertology pamphlet, everybody. It's a puzzle in pieces, as puzzles should be. Yes. Whoa! Yeah, I'm trying it on, folks. We're gonna figure this out. This is happening live. We don't know. There might be poison gas in there. This is a way of murdering me. Oh yes, ask the question when you fix it. Yes. Thank you. Mm.
So, was there any things like having been sharing that like more psychology things than this one?
More cyphertology. So for those of you who are not familiar, because it's not in the book, like I said, there's more material that we created than even appeared in the book. And some of that material, we thought, oh, it would be cool to hide it in the sneaky, spooky website. So any of you who've been to thisisnotawebsite.com, if you follow a series of strange, circuitous riddles that don't make sense, but they kind of do, and then your friend told you about it, then you went on Reddit, and then you tried it yourself, 1 out of every 1,000 times will send you a link. It'll take you to lots of strange things, and one of them is like 12 pages from a book about a cult created by Bill Cipher called Cyphertology. And I had so much fun writing these pages that I lost track of how long it was, and I was like, I can't fit this in the book. There's no time for this. So I put it on the website. But there is more. And maybe one day I'll put it somewhere. Like I said, there's more appetite for this than I thought. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get into whatever this thing is, folks. I can't see it. What is happening here? So this is
I'm Stan and I was wrong. I'm singing the Stan wrong song. I shouldn't have taken that chance. Now here's my remorseful dance.
Stan for the winners. If you have a message you would like for Grunkle Stan. Yeah, here we go. All right.